Good afternoon. All right, please stand for the invocation. Gracious, loving God, thank you for this year's graduating class. Thank you for this graduating class, for inspiring us to apply our gifts and talents, to grow as individuals and emerging adults, and as engaged members of society. Encourage each of us with your grace to continue learning and growing, to always seek the truth, to become wiser and more compassionate, serve those in need, and to work for peace and justice, and sustain each of us in the years to come. Bless each of us with your joy today. Friends and family, keep us in your prayers. In Christ's name we pray, amen. Amen. Please remain standing for the National Black Anthem.
Okay, if you look inside our program, the Black National Anthem is inside there, and please sing along. Everyone. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the misty skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Please let parents and friends enter.
Good afternoon, family, friends, and graduates. My name is Jayla Gregory, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to CCA Academy's 2019 commencement ceremony. I am the salutatorian for the class of 2019. In the fall, I will be attending Lincoln College in Lincoln, Illinois to study business. I extend my warmest congratulations to the class of 2019 and acknowledge the support that has helped us along the way. To all staff members, families, and friends with us today, and to those who could not be here as we celebrate this moment, thank you.
going to have a change in the program. Next, we will have the introduction of the speaker, and then our commencement address. We will come back to the solo and the valedictorian address. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kanaya Wright, and I will be attending Robert Morris University in the fall. I am introducing our speaker, Ms. Robin Robinson. Robin Robinson is an award-winning journalist and a respected broadcaster and a social activist. She is a native Chicagoan. She has spent her career working her way from California back home, where she became a founding anchor of the weeknight newscast at the Fox Chicago News Chicago. In June 2016, Ms. Robinson's activism, a social justice, restorative practice, and the neighborhood revitalization led to her current role with the Chicago Police Department as a special advisor to the superintendent and director of the Office of Restorative Justice. On her new position with the CPD, Ms. Robinson says it is the most important work she has ever done. She says that we are at a crucial crossroad in American justice, with an opportunity to turn from the harmful interactions of the past and engage in authentic reconciliation that transforms the problematic relationship among the law enforcement and the communities of color. Restoring hope for true partnership and the co-creation of the path to a more safer and peaceful future. Our graduation theme is to do not go where the path may lead. Go where there is no path and leave a trail. Our speaker is one who forged her own trail and left the path for others. Now I present to you the recipient of 6th Emmy Award, Ms. Robin Robinson.
I appreciate that. What a lovely introduction. What happened? Thank you. So I just walked away like, hey. So people, I send my bio, right? It's long. It's like, it looks like I couldn't hold a job. And not everyone takes the time to rewrite it into their own words and make it the appropriate length. So I want to thank you very much. That's why you're the salutatorian, right? So anyway, because otherwise y'all still be listening to her talk about me. So the change in the program is because of my scheduling issues. So I hate to, and I also didn't want to follow the valedictorian. You know, there's no winning with that. And it means that you're saved, because my hour and 15-minute remarks will have to be reduced to 15 minutes. You all right with that? You ever had death by graduation speaker? It's not fun. It is not fun. It's supposed to be a day of celebration, right? Not a day of, oh my God, is she ever gonna shut up? It's kind of a pressure assignment, right? To speak to young people as they, even though my back is to y'all, I kind of want to do this, but I'm talking to you, okay? You got me? All right, thank you. So I'm like a teacher, got eyes in the back of my head. Because, I mean, what can you tell them? People have been telling them, giving them advice all their lives. That's kind of an adult thing to do. Caring adults always tell them, don't do this, do that. Try this, don't try that. It's such a high pressure assignment that, did anybody hear about that principal last month in, where was he? Parkersburg, West Virginia. He just stole somebody's graduation speech. In 2013, Ashton Kutcher, everybody know Ashton Kutcher? Young people may not, right? He was a teen heartthrob. If there was a boy band, if he was a musician, he would have been in a boy band. And he had given this speech upon accepting an award. And this principal took the speech like word for word. And I looked at it and I said, I understand why, because it was a good speech, right? There's a lot of pressure to say something good that resonates, can't hurt nobody. So basically the speech was about opportunity, about which Mr. Kutcher and later the principal said looks like hard work. And Mr. Kutcher's second point was about being sexy. But the principal wasn't sexy. So he changed the word to be intriguing, which he said, I like Ashton's version better, which says the sexiest thing in the world is to be smart, generous, and kind. And the last thing that he talked about was living life. Building a life, as opposed to just living a life within the constructs that someone else has created. That you can build your own framework. That those who tell you what life is supposed to be are no smarter than you are. I love that. Speaking of smart, why would this principal think that a man who received an award from the Teen Choice Awards might not have been something those teenagers had already seen? So he's been shamed pretty roundly on social media. I don't like shaming on social media, but there is a lesson there. How are we expected to be role models for young people? And you guys have to cite all of your sources for a paper. And he basically, his response was, oh, I forgot to tell him that I was going to borrow some of what Ashton Kutcher said in his speech. If you look at it, it was from pillar to post. He took it word for word. He got a 4-day suspension or something. So I would have preferred to see him engage in a restorative practice, talk about the harm that that may have created, and for his own image, for himself, and for the people he was speaking to. But I'm not in charge of anything in Parkersburg, West Virginia. But I do understand the pressure, because there's also potential for liability. What if I tell you something, you go out and follow my advice, and it works out disastrously for you? How am I going to feel then? Well, Ms. Robinson said I should try this, and then, here I am, all messed up. Sorry, that's my son. Son, I'm talking to some graduates, try to do better with them, okay? Okay, thank you. Okay. So in a minute, I'm going to tell you what I told my own children. So, because that's all I can do, is my best. And it's not going to be perfect, because I'm not perfect. And my views on what help people as they go forward and try to forge a path have evolved over the years. I'm 61 years old, and what I thought at 30 is not the same as what I think now. So the best graduation speeches have a little controversy. So I'm going to tell you what I told the people I love most in the world, my own children, and it's a little controversial. So I started out telling them no to 3 things. No habits, no felonies, and no babies. But wait a minute. I've lived and learned. Some habits, if you're in the habit of helping people, if you're in the habit of making your bed every time you get out of it, if you're in the habit of counting up your fruits and vegetables every day to make sure you get enough servings, those are good habits. But the habits that I was speaking of are the ones that you probably can imagine. And I probably was so set on that one because I lost my own brother to heroin addiction, and later he died of HIV/AIDS. And at the time, everybody blamed the addict, right? But when you know better, you do better. We now have all kinds of new research made possible by the MRI, because if someone had taken an x-ray of your brain, every year through your development, the x-ray would have killed you. But the MRI being a chance to look at the brain as it develops and to realize the impact that these foreign substances have upon the brain and the disability of just making a good choice to stop doing something is physiologically nearly impossible, particularly if you get that habit at a young age when your brain has what they call plasticity. It means the soil is soft. That's why y'all could learn another language in about 6 months and take me about 6 years, because I don't have that same plasticity. So having been so upset, because my brother was so smart and so beautiful, and why are you throwing your life away like this? As if he had a choice, right? So addiction science now tells us that it's not necessarily a moral failing. It is a bad choice to begin with, but after that, the choice is almost removed from people. So I recently had a chance to go to Toronto, Canada. It was a work trip to see, this is controversial, safe injection sites or safe consumption sites. The idea being that if you cannot get to that hoped for recovery, right? You're drug free, you're clean, that at least we can reduce the harm that happens around you, not just for you, for your community, for your family, that at least you won't be consuming something that's going to kill you on the spot. At least you won't be someplace consuming something that puts you in a situation that makes you subject to all kinds of other harm happening to you. At least you won't, at least you can't recover if you're dead. And I can stand before you today and say, my brother who stole everything we had and the neighbor's stuff too, feeding that horrible habit, I would rather have him here today still addicted than dead. So the idea of harm reduction, even around things that we wish we could get rid of, right? You see all those 800 numbers, those ads, call us, we'll help you. You're addicted, we'll help you. There is no, you don't hear them talk about their success rate. You don't hear the government having any kind of oversight over how well that works. Yes, it can be your goal, and yes, it works for some people, but until then, how do we reduce the harm, keep you connected to your family, to a community, while you are struggling with this addiction? So that was a learning trip, and it kind of made me think about how I had judged my own brother. Still, his life would have been a lot easier without that happening, right? And then there's my no felonies, which kind of goes with the first one, because usually if you got some sort of habit and it's illegal, it's a felony coming up down the line someplace. But the more we learn about the criminalization of our communities, the more we learn about why one person doing one thing gets them a slap on the hand, and another person doing the same thing ends up in and out of prison for the rest of their life. Who saw When They See Us? Who watched that Netflix, When They See Us? Hurt your feelings, didn't it? It was hard to watch. Truth is difficult, but it is necessary for it to reconcile and recognize some paths have been created by other forces and people with other intentions. And they're not just created, they are like led up to our doorstep. Get on this path, right? Because it's to someone else's benefit. So we talk about, don't necessarily follow the path that's been created. Certainly look at who's creating it. So felonies. I never did say no felons, right? A person who has a felony in their background could be better, more authentic, honest, valuable than the principal that stole Ashton Kutcher's speech. All right? So judging people by, it may not even be the worst decision they made in their life, judging people by a condition that they did not create that led to said felony. So, while I was in Canada, I also had a chance to we opened our meeting there with an indigenous person. So they don't call them Native Americans there because obviously it's not America. But what happened to the indigenous people in Canada, the tribes that were there before the imperialists came with the doctrine of discovery that says we've discovered this and now everybody does what we say, was that they were not enslaved, but they were to be formed in the image of the colonizers. So they had what they called residential schools. And the indigenous people's children were forced to go to these schools, and they were boarding schools. They lived there. They were forbidden to speak their language. They were forbidden to engage in any of the rituals that had been part of their heritage. They were trying to teach it out of them. And now there is an effort to reclaim that heritage. This man who was, and he was a recovering addict, he talked about the effort to learn this language, get his parents to speak it to him so he could share it, to see the power and the value in knowing that path that they tried to erase. He did a whole ceremony for us where he lit some sage and talked about Mother Earth giving us everything that we possibly need. And he went around the room with the smoke from the sage and he said a prayer to, I can't remember all of it, but it was Mother Earth and Father Sky and Grandmother Moon and Grandfather Sun, and it was just amazing. And he said it was part of the indigenous people learning to like themselves again. And I started thinking, how far back would my people have to go, right? How would we ever reconnect? Have we ever even been given that as a thing to do? So years ago when I was about y'all's age, if an African would, come into contact with an African American community, there was a big disconnect. We felt, oh, they think they're better than us. And they felt, oh, these people have been just, they don't even know their father's face. There is now more of an understanding of the intentional severance of that connection. We're doing our DNA, right? You can find out at least what part of the African continent you're from. Most likely, Yoruba. The Yoruba tribe is a very large tribe in Africa. So how do I connect those rituals and customs and strengths? There's a tribe in Africa, and actually I learned this when I was in Canada at this safe injection site, and they have a picture on the wall describing this tribe, and I brought it to make sure I got it right, because it was amazing to me. I probably can't find it, but when something happens, they take the person who's done the wrong. When someone does something wrong, they take the person to the center of the village where the tribe surrounds him or her, I added the or her, for 2 days. And for 2 days, they say all the good this person has done. The tribe believes that each person is good, but sometimes people make mistakes, which is really their cry for help. They unite to reconnect that person with his good nature. Does that sound like that could work, as opposed to removing people from community and putting them someplace where their good nature will do them no good whatsoever? So connecting with our heritage and the rituals that have strengthened us over the centuries. We have a 500-year gap. But hey, the technology, I'm thinking if you decide that might be one of the paths that you might want to create, y'all, it's something to think about. And then the last part, which I know is really controversial, no babies. So what I really mean is, until you can handle that, right? And that does not necessarily mean till you have enough money. Because there are a lot of people with money that have babies almost as an accessory. Well, I've got it all. I've got the great job. I've got the nice house. I've got the nice car. I gotta have a baby. And then here come baby, and it's like, it's alive. All right, it's awake all night, wants stuff. It's something to really give some careful consideration to. On the other hand, you have people who really feel like they have no one to love them, nothing of their own, so they'll have a baby. They are also not treatment, right? It's a big responsibility, but sometimes it's what you need to inspire and motivate you to do better, right? Having someone else's well-being in your hands can be very empowering. You're gonna need some support. Hey, the best of us need some support. I was a 6-figure anchor woman when I had my first baby. I said, Mommy, please come stay with me for 2 months. Okay. We all need some support. So, and then I think my message might have got through a little too clearly, because I got 3 kids and the older one's 30 and I had no grandkids. I said, wait, I take it back. I take it back. But generally speaking, at the age that I was giving that advice, I meant not right now. The other thing about having babies, right? My mom is 94. If she hadn't had me, I don't know who'd be taking care of her evil butt right now. Because you gotta love them unconditionally, right? To complete that circle. They take care of you, and then you take care of them. So that's just a thought. But I do love your theme. Do not go where the path may lead, go where there is no path, and leave a trail. So what is your trail? You know you're leaving a trail every minute. If the person you just interacted with has a smile when you finish, you've left a trail. Every interaction we judge unconsciously through our lens of justice. If everything goes like it's supposed to go, it's all fair, we don't even notice. We don't make a note of it. But let it be unfair or unjust. You can't get it out your head. Whether it's the person at the checkout counter or at the bank or what, you can't tell them, you wouldn't believe what just. 2 days later, you're still talking about that. So everything that we experience, we unconsciously put it through our lens of justice. So as you create experiences for others in their interactions with you, why don't you put it through that lens first? What's going to leave them saying, I'm glad I met them. And as I was looking at your theme, I found some other interesting sayings by Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson. What you do speaks so loudly that I cannot hear what you say. Think about that. What I do is just drowns out everything else. So I guess that goes along with somebody rephrased it, action speaks louder than words. But it's so loud that I can't hear what you say, because what you do has preoccupied me. Always do what you are afraid to do. Now, I would have to put some conditions on that. You know, Mr. Emerson lived in a different time. He was a Unitarian preacher in Boston, and that might have worked there. But there are some things that people want you to do that you, in your heart, are scared of, right? Sometimes there's a reason for that. And so you don't have to do it. But when you know it's something you should do, remember that courage is not the absence of fear. Whether it's a fear of a new school campus, new friends, new places, yeah, you got a little trepidation. So courage is going forth despite your fear. And we always fear new things. That's why we get in ruts. The first step to greatness is right outside your comfort zone. I find myself in a lot of spaces with a lot of people who don't look like me, and they all carry guns. I'm talking about the police department, y'all don't. So. It's an unfamiliar space for me. But what I found is they are such human beings beneath all that uniform and machoism and authority and control is a person who wants to get home at the end of the day. So finding those things that connect us, you'll find out they're greater than those things that divide us. But it takes the courage of that first step. My favorite of all that stuff that I saw when I looked up Mr. Emerson is a little long. Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities, no doubt, crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it serenely and with too high of a spirit to be encumbered with your old nonsense. I like that. I like that fresh start message. And I'm going to end with a little more plagiarism. They both said it, Ashton Kutcher and the principal. The principal said, I love you guys. Ashton said, love y'all. I'm going to say, I love you. I loved you before you were born. I love everything about you. I love you when you're wrong. I love you when you're resilient enough to come back. I love you when you are wearing your pants up like Urkel and down like Tupac. I love you when your hair is short. I love you when it's in dreads. I love you when it's yours only because you bought it. I love you, every part of you, when you're right, when you're wrong, and when you get it straight. And with that, I just want you to know, that's the most important thing I can possibly give you, and I mean it. I love you. It's really bad to come back with a PS, right? I know. It's going to be really short. The thing that has helped me in my life, and I know they probably talked to you guys about this at school, is sometimes to see myself and my interactions clearly, I have to write them down and then go back and look at it later. So I am a big believer in journaling. So I'm giving everybody, it ain't nothing fancy, it's just a little bitty notebook. But it says what I think is so important, your voice matters. So that's it. That was one for me.
Please let parents and family guests in.
Life is like a big merry-go-round. You're up and then down, going in circles trying to get to where you are. Everybody's been counting you out, but where are they now? Sitting in the same old place, just faces in the crowd. We all make mistakes, you might fall on your face, but you gotta get up. I'd rather stand tall than live on my knees, 'cause I'm a conqueror and I won't accept defeat. Try telling me no. One thing about me is I'm a conqueror. I'm a conqueror. Oh, got a vision that no one else sees. Let a dirty work roll up your sleeves. Remember there's a war out there, so come prepared to fight. You never know where the road leads you. Not everyone's gonna believe you. And even though they're wrong, don't prove them right. I'd rather stand tall than live on my knees, 'cause I'm a conqueror and I won't accept defeat. Try telling me no. One thing about me is I'm a conqueror. I'm a conqueror.
Good afternoon. My name is Napoleon Nichols, the class of 2019 valedictorian. Congratulations again. It went by fast, just like our parents said it would. So I suggest that each one of you cherish the precious moments we have spent together, because no matter how much you may want to, you can't come back to high school. Now there's reality we must face, whether or not we're ready. Everything eventually ends. As much as I've been looking forward and waiting to this day, I've always disliked endings. TV series, The Last Day of Summer, the last chapter in a good book. Endings are certain to happen and unavoidable. That's why I won't call this an ending, but a new beginning. I will be attending here at Washington Community College in the fall. Majoring in physical education, where I plan to pursue a career as a PE instructor. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I love you, Mom. Thank you.
The Herbert D. Percival Scholarship was established in 1992 to honor 14 years of service on the CCA Board of Directors with 5 terms as president of the board. During the same period, Herbert Percival served as the priest of St. Martin's Episcopal Church. Father Percival was a staunch advocate for children and an aggressive fundraiser during his tenure on the CCA board. He introduced CCA to many Episcopal churches, most of whom remain strong supporters today. He was instrumental in working with the diocese to help secure the down payment on the CCA building, the initial funds for our science lab, and in purchasing the first CCA van. The Herbert D. Percival Scholarship Fund was established to commemorate his service by providing a $500 grant annually to a CCA graduate who has successfully completed his or her sophomore year in college. The first award was given in January of 1993. In 2019, we have a 2017 CCA graduate who has completed his sophomore year at Rust College in Holly Springs, Mississippi, Mr. Jermichael Bass.
Hello, y'all too. How y'all doing today? Like she said, my name's Jermichael Bass. I just completed my sophomore year at Russ College, HBCU, by the way. I just want to let the graduates know that I was in y'all's shoes once before. I ain't perfect. I've been in these streets. I've been to jail before. I've been expelled from my school. It got so bad where my family didn't even want me to stay at the house no more. But the 3 years I was at CCA, they became like family to me. Not just teaching me and dealing with me day to day, but giving me the things that I didn't know that I needed. Like a tuxedo. I ain't wearing it right now, but I left it at school, but you know, many learning opportunities such as the Civic Engagement Project and a lot of mentoring. I'm a little nervous, but man. I just want to thank CCA for all y'all done for me, for real, for real. I remember it was getting close to graduation. I didn't even want to go to prom. But CCA, they paid for my ticket and paid for my tuxedo. Not just that, but CCA helped with sending me off to college. For real. So much this school did for me, man. I just know if they'd do it for me, they'd do it for all y'all too. Like for real, for real. I'm honored to be getting this scholarship, like for real, for real. I can't pronounce his name, Herbert D. Percival, right? All right. But yeah, I'm grateful, like for real, for real. I'm going into my junior year. I'm grateful, for real, for real. And I I ain't that funny now. But for real, for real, for real. Yeah. This ain't Def Comedy Jam. But CCA gave me a summer job for this summer, so I'm gonna be working at CCA this summer. So I just want to thank Dr. Sampson and all the staff of CCA. Like, for real, for real. Without y'all, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now, for real. I wouldn't be the person I am right now. So thank you.
At this time, I would like to present the Mae Morrison Award. Mae Morrison Leadership Award was established in 2004 to recognize Mae's valuable contribution to young people as an educator, social worker, and community leader. These awards, $125 each, are given annually to CCA graduating seniors who have overcome significant obstacles to continue their education. Mae served as a social worker at CCA Academy, working with pregnant and parenting teen program. She counsels teens about loving and taking care of themselves so that they can better themselves, their family, and their community. The teen parent sponsored CCA Academy's first blood drive under her leadership. In memory of Mae Morrison, recipients are asked to strive for academic excellence and make a contribution to the community and others. I am now honored to present the 2019 recipients of the Mae Morrison Award. The first award will go to Jayla Gregory. Kanaya Wright. And Jokita Rice.
Now it is my pleasure to present to you the staff, the boards, and the benefit members, volunteers that help to make CCA run and thrive every day. So first, the CCA staff. Would you please stand? Next, like to present CCA Board of Directors, who Tom Pepper is representing today. And Mr. Chairman. Both Tom and teachers and Dennis were teachers at CCA. Tom and his wife Linda were founding members, and Dennis was our social studies teacher for 27 years. So we're happy to have them on the board working with us. Every year we have a fundraiser, and that fundraiser is put on by the benefit committee. This is a group who work to make sure that there are extra funds coming into CCA. So would benefit members please stand? Oh, I know I had seen Brad and Ann. And every Tuesday, we have volunteers from St. Mary's that work one-on-one with our students. A lot of the seniors that are here because St. Mary's helped them, volunteers from St. Mary's, help them to get through their materials, answer questions, solving problems with them. Volunteers, please stand. Other volunteers include MAD, Men Making a Difference. The MAD men work with the police department, and they come to play chess with our students on Wednesday. So they also do tutoring. Would any men from MAD here? Okay, so any representative from the police department that plays chess with the students? They're also a vital part of CCA. And last, we have our Robert Morrison interns that work in all departments and help to make sure that things are flowing. Robert Morris, students. Okay, thank you.
On the CCA Academy Class 2019, high school diploma with all the honors, rights, privileges, and responsibilities belonging to the same. In witness thereof, each diploma is affixed with the authorized signatures and sealed with the corporate seal. I present to you the CCA Academy Class of 2019.
For 39 years, we passed out a burgundy diploma that said CCA Academy. The State Board of Education told us that we should be passing out the public school diploma. So for the first time, since we are a charter school, our students will receive a diploma from Youth Connection Charter School that is signed by the board, the charter, and the school.
Jason Amos. Kayla Applin. Javon Berry. Sharad Cobbins. Pearl Collins. Shatarius Crowder. Shira Davis. Camaro Duet. Jeremiah Duncantale. Dundee Dyer. Davisha Forrest. Jayla Gregory. Kalia Kerr. Kanaya Ison. Latarcia Jackson. Aisha Lowe. Shaniera McClain. Dante Nance. Gina Mosley. Monet Murray. Tajay Neely. Napoleon Nichols. Travis Noel. Shaniara Allison. Joquita Wright. Draquan Robinson. Martaja Sesson. Tyree Chanel. Randy Smith. Tavon Smith.
Asia White. Justin Walker. Jamal Watson. Nicholas Williams. Peter White. Keelan Wright. Kanaya Wright. Kishana Wright. Raven Young. Ariel Wilson. Asia Johnson. I need everyone. Dante. You can say it. Okay. All right. Please, no more distractions, okay? All right, at this time, I need everyone to please take their tassels and turn them from right to left. I now present to you the 2019 graduating class. We will now have the benediction, and I ask that you will all please stand.
Y'all ready now? Heavenly Father, may this graduation day serve as a celebration of your life with us. We rejoice in all the blessings that you have given us. We give you all the skills, learning, and hard work that we have accomplished over the years. Today, we pour out our blessings and gifts onto your hands. May we cherish this memory with our hearts as we continue on to our next adventures. May we reveal your hope in this world. May God's blessing follow each of us today as we start new adventures, interesting travels, and different journeys in life. May we always walk safely among the path of our dreams and aspirations. God bless everyone and thank you. Congratulations, class of 2019.
It's like you're looking through a telescope. You see things all the
It feels great, a long 4 years, so I'm actually proud of myself. My name's Marcin.
Do you have anything you want to say to the school?
Yes, I appreciate everything they did for me. They really worked hard and made sure I graduated. They kept me on track, and I thank them very much for that. So, yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job.
I feel great about graduating. I'm glad that school let me graduate.
Is there anything you want to say to the school?
I'm going to miss y'all.
Yeah?
Hi. First off, I want to thank everybody who supported me throughout the high school years and all the obstacles I've been through. I maintained to graduate. I want to thank my family and friends for being here today. And I want to thank my fellow... Let's start over.
You know, when you just say action, okay? All right. We want to thank everybody at CCA that gave us the opportunity to graduate this year. Ain't that right, Kanaya?
Period.
All right. We want to thank our moms, our dads, our grandmas, the people that fed us. We want to thank everybody. We want to thank the lady that's holding this camera because I know her arm hurt. We want to thank everybody that donated CCA. We want to thank everybody, and everywhere. Ain't that right, Kanaya?
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Kanaya?
Thank you to my family and friends. And being a young mother, I got through this and I've graduated.
Yes. All right, kids!